Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So the Christmas decorations are going to be going away. We're in the start of a new year, and this is definitely a year of change for me. And in this video, it's going to be different than a couponing video. I wanted to go through the reflections that I've had from 2019 and things that I'm going to be working on and doing better for myself in 2020. So you guys may have done what I did and kind of reflected on this past year, things that had happened. Everything wasn't perfect in 2019 for me. Different situations happened, friends came, friends left, me not feeling so good. My anxiety kind of peaked at certain times throughout the year, and just different things that I really want to change. Some days I feel like a great mom, and some days I feel like I'm not a good mom at all. Some days I feel like I'm a fantastic wife, and then some days I feel like I'm just not doing enough to give my husband that support. I think that we all go through that as women, and it's hard on us because we put a lot of pressures on us to kind of do everything as moms, as wives, as friends. And at the end of the day, we can only be our best. We can only do as much as we can. But each and every new year, I like to kind of go through and reflect different things that I want to try and focus in on the new year. Things that I want to change, things that I want to make better. Now, I honestly want to just say thank you to everyone who shared their New Year's, resolution, or what you would call it, in one of my previous videos. Some of them that you shared were so, personal, and yet you guys are always so open to share, and I really do appreciate it. I know many of you touched people in those comments and really spoke to their heart, and it really, truly, honestly meant a lot. So thank you so much. And I think hearing others and what they're looking to do can sometimes spark something in us where we say, hey, I'm just like that. Maybe that's something that I should be working on. It kind of like gives us a little bit of a spark, and always does that. So the first thing that I'm definitely going to be working on in the new year, and I do this every year, even though I feel like I do as, you almost feel like you do sometimes as much as you can, is really focus in on that family time. I've done amazing things with learning to balance like YouTube and family life, and to keep them separate, and to make sure that I don't miss out on those simple things. But yet, sometimes I still have to remind myself about it, that, family is the most important, and that these memories, whether it's a kids' movie night at school, or, some kind of an event, or the kids, anything that they are doing, that these things don't come around again in life, and that these moments, you have to soak them in at the time that they're happening, because you can't press that rewind button and make them happen again. And I always tell myself, like, I'm not a things person. I think you guys kind of know that. I'm not impressed with fancy cars. I'm not impressed with fancy jewelry, fancy makeup, fancy hair, fancy clothes. It's not the way I was brought up. My dad was a truck driver. My mom didn't work. We did not have money. I have 4 sisters and a brother. We had a small 3-bedroom home, which my parents had 1 bedroom. I personally slept on a fold-out couch in my living room until I was in high school. When I was in high school, my older sisters moved out. I actually got to share a bedroom with my other sister. So that was just like, I just learned that, things just don't get, like, I never had things given to me as far as like, never got like, here, my parents didn't buy me a car, my parents didn't help pay for a car. I always took the bus, like, even when I was in my 20s, I was still taking the bus, like, to work, because my parents always instilled in us that when you work hard, taking care of your family is the most important. And one thing I remember growing up is just having a ton of memories, is keeping that. I didn't have memories of things. If you ask me, like, what was my favorite gift growing up, like, that doesn't come to mind. But if you ask me, like, what were my favorite childhood memories, I could definitely, like, talk and yap about those, because my parents gave me that. So now that I'm an adult, I have to tell myself that that's something that I want to pass on to my children. And really in the new year, guys, whether it's work, whether it's, sometimes I'll sit and I'll be watching TV I don't watch a lot of TV, but I'll be thinking, God, maybe I should play a board game with the kids, you know, or something like that. And then I go do it and I have so much more fun than watching The Real Housewives or anything else that's on TV, because let's face it, that's like not reality, even though they claim it to be reality, right? The reality is the time that you have with your family. So another thing that I definitely have been working on for years is standing up for myself. I'm the kind of person that is like a people pleaser, and I always just want people to be happy, and I want people to not necessarily like me and make me their best friend. I don't like keep count of friends because I just don't, you know, that's not important to me, but I always like to see people happy and smiling and all of that great stuff. But a lot of times in the ways I come across others who may not have that same intention for me, where they don't, you know, want to know about me, or let's just say, like, for instance, in high school, I was always like a smart person. You know, I was always the person that, like, when there were group projects, people wanted to be in my group because, again, I learned this from my dad. You just work super hard, you get it done, you do your best. And that's what I always did. And, you know, people would always want to be, you know, when there were science projects and things, they'd want to be in my group because I was the kind of person like, oh, I'll do the work, you know, kind of taken advantage of in that sense. And as I grew up as an adult, it carried into like working, where when I was in work situations and people were doing things, I was always one to be like, oh, I can help you with that and do it. Not asking for credit and generally never getting credit, but that wasn't the point. But years and years of that and relationships of that and friendships of that really took a toll on me. And it really made me realize that I am not being the best for myself. I'm worrying about everyone else. And then here I am going along trying to please everyone else and not making myself happy. So definitely in this new year, and definitely in this past year, let's just face it, you know, everybody can't be everybody's friend. You know, there's different issues, whether it's, you know, people don't know how to communicate to one another, or people don't take the time to communicate or listen to what others are saying. You know, relationships can fail and fallouts can happen and different things can happen. But one thing that I've learned in the new year is that I'm not going to be mad at anyone. I'm not going to hold grudges, because the only person that hurts is myself. In a nutshell, and that was a lot, because 2019 was definitely a learning course for me. I went through a lot of different things that really told me, you know what, I'm 42. I'm not going to do this anymore. I've got to take care of me. I've got to be healthy. I mean, sometimes I would stress out about different things or things going on with people or family. My husband would be like, you're going to truly give yourself a heart attack. And, you know, it takes hearing that to be like, you know what, you're right. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. What's worth it is here. What's worth it is under this building right here, which is my family. But making me important and making my voice heard and making people understand that, you know what, I don't expect things from you. I just expect you as a person in my life. That's all I want. Was something that definitely I started doing in 2019, and in 2020 is going to be very important pushing forward. So one of the things that really touched me in a lot of the comments and things that everyone was going through was a lot of people were having issues with their mental illness, with anxiety. And I want to let you guys know that you are not alone. I've been suffering from anxiety since my early 20s. And even so much, I kind of go in different phases where it gets better and then it kind of gets worse and it gets better and it gets worse. And 2019 was really a hard year for me. I had a lot of anxiety attacks. I had a lot of times when, you know, I didn't know if I was going to be okay as far as, you know, was I having a heart attack? Was I having issues? And taking care of myself is really important. Seeing my doctor is really important, and getting on track with that is super important. So know that you're not alone, but definitely seeking medical attention. And guys, I'm not a doctor. I don't know a doctor. My husband's not a doctor. I don't have a family member who's a doctor. I'm just one-on-one, saying that that's really important in the new year because you need to be okay. Like my husband always tells me, you have to be okay. You have to feel good because you take care of us. And if you're not here to take care of us, he always says that, we would fall apart. And I know what he means, not like you need me to do the dishes. You need me to be like, moms are the glue. Moms are simply the glue, right? We keep everything together. And if I'm not together, everything eventually will kind of crumble down and not be working. So it's so important to get yourself on the right track and to take those steps to do that in the new year. And really, most importantly, guys, know that you are not alone, that there's not something wrong with you, that it's not normal to feel the way that you do. We can't help the way that we feel, right? It's just who we are. So know that for sure. Another thing that I will be doing in the new year is focusing more on faith, focusing more in God. And we all have our different beliefs, and I respect everyone's belief. I'm not trying to push off anything on you as far as having your faith and having faith in God. You find your faith, you find your way to a different outlook. And I'm going to give you an example. Every time I go to church, I just feel like a better person. And we went to church when I was young, and now as an adult, I don't go to church regularly. I'm completely admitting that. I pray, I have faith in God, and my children have faith in God. They go to religious classes, and that's beside the point. But when I go to church, every time I get out of church, I just feel like a better person. Whether it's the community in the church that I see, the love that I feel, the positiveness that church brings, because there's always a positive message. I definitely feel like I can do things better, that I feel like I'm just a better person. So when I feel like I'm a better person, I feel like I'm a better wife, I feel like I'm a better mom, and I want to take on more. So just find that positiveness, whether it's through religion, faith, or just, starting to read books. That's another thing I'm doing in the new year, is starting to read more books about positivity and hearing other people's stories and just understanding the world around me, and not just always thinking like what I'm going through is wrong, because there's others going through it. So understanding that is really important. At the holidays this year, we had my 86-year-old aunt there, and I hadn't seen my aunt in like maybe 2 years. And she had so many things going on health-wise that from that 2-year span, like I just saw such a change in her, and I just felt so bad. And I just said to myself, I have to take more time to reach out to those other family members to help them. Now she lives a little bit of a ways away, but I definitely put that on my list to take more time to invest in, elderly family members. You kind of you'll see them once in a while, but you don't see them all the time. So I'm definitely going to take more time in making an effort to maybe take her out to lunch, or definitely bring her some couponing stockpile stuff, because I know that she would enjoy that and it would help her out as well. So that is something in the new year that I'm going to do as well. So another thing in the new year, so I was having a really great 2019 where I lost 30 pounds and I was feeling amazing. And at the end of 2019, I gained a few pounds back. So I'm like 5 pounds back, which probably was guilty of Thanksgiving and Christmas. But definitely in the new year, I want to share and have us work together, because so many of you are reaching out that a lot of your New Year's resolutions is to get on a diet, but you won't say the word diet. And I completely understand that, because you've tried and then you end up failing, and then you say next year you're going to do it again. You are not the only one who has done that. Maybe finding a healthier lifestyle rather than say diet, and taking little baby steps. Like the other day, we just got an exercise bike and we put it right where our TV is. So we thought, as we're watching TV or at nighttime, because our other exercise stuff is in the basement, and it's overwhelming, the exercise stuff that we have. I'm just being honest. It's just way overwhelming. And I think starting simple is the best way to go, and working your way up, than rather doing the whole gym membership and saying I'm going to go every day. I've done the gym membership thing, and then I'm all hyped on it for a while, and it just doesn't work for me. And eventually, you know, that's it. So in finding like a couple of different techniques, whether it's just doing light walking, whether it's just, you know, walking up and down your stairs a little bit extra each day, just to get a little bit more, you know, of your heart going, your legs moving, all of that. That is definitely something in the new year that I will be doing. And I'm hoping to document that more for you guys. And it wouldn't be on this channel. I've had another channel for a long time. I've just never posted anything on it because, you know, I've always done like the couponing stuff. But in the new year, it's more for me. I mean, couponing stuff won't change, trust me. It will all stay the same. But I think it's more important if I reach out and we work together, because we can be a total helping unit. We can help one another. You guys can pump me up and I can pump you up, and we can share our successes. We can share our fails. So you guys let me know what you think about that in 2020, if that's something that you want to see. So my heart is going out to all of you in the new year. My wish for you guys is to have an amazing 2020, a happy, healthy, adventurous new year. Do something different. Do something that's like on your bucket list. Make sure that you take time for yourself, take time for your family, take time to breathe in the air and see like nature around you. I know it's corny, but it's really not corny. It's the truth. We are on a like moving a kind of a schedule where we're, you know, obsessed with doing everything that we have to get done or trying to impress others. And that truly needs to stop, because at the end of the day, when my day is done, you know, I am not going to be taking the memories of, you know, who I impressed or who had a better this or who had a better that. Rather, I'm going to be taking the memories of watching the smiles on my kids' faces, or, you know, feeling that love for my husband, where my heart is just like, I mean, I still get it to this day where I look at him and it's like when we were dating, my heart just jumps and I'm super like nervous, but happy and excited. I want those feelings forever. And those are the things that are important in the new year. So if you'd like to share what's important in the new year to you, or something that you wish for someone or that you wish for yourself, comment below. And here's to an amazing year, guys. We can do this together. We can support each other. There's no negativeness. We are all our own person, and being who we are is what makes us special. And we need to let that shine, and in the new year, just have amazing things happen. So love to you all and to your family, and to an amazing 2020. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.